Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good night to you all. I hope you're all having a lovely day, whatever it is that you have done with it or will do with it, I guess I should say. WorldEmber. We're back again, as we usually are. I had low-key planned to do a bonus stream during the week, and then I forgot. So I didn't end up doing that. But that's okay, don't bother with that, that's silly. So, hang on. Like, what did I do? When did I stream? The 8th. Okay, so on last stream, I was working on the Prelt article, Prelt being an extinct volcano with great significance to the Scarran peoples, as it says. I don't remember where I got up to. I'm assuming I hadn't written any of that. I'll make the guess that I didn't get that done. So I was somewhere in here-ish. And so I finished that. Then on Wednesday, mostly Wednesday, I wrote about the city islands, which are a time, a thing that happened. Basically, a whole kingdom that got its shit pushed in by the gods. Not deliberately, not in the sense of being deliberately Atlanticed by the gods or anything. It just got its shit kicked in. Because the gods did not plan the collision particularly well. Kind of the whole point was that it was just, let's see what happens. Smash. And so, yeah, the City Islands is a place where things went bad, and now it's just, basically an archipelago of graveyards, which is kind of kick-ass. I had a lot of fun with this article, actually. I think because I've been planning to write it to an extent since, yeah, the publication date says 2018. I don't know why. I'm assuming possibly that I accidentally published it in 2018 when I made it. But yeah, I've had it made since 2018, so I finally wrote about that. Then I wrote about Univis III, and writing about Univis was very fun because at some point, so I knew going in to the Univis article that I wanted him to be an asshole. But I knew a few things going. This is a bug. Sorry. There's bugs because the window's open. It's 20. It was hot today. So I knew two things. Okay, hold on. I knew three things. I knew three things going in. The first is that he's the Grand Prince of Ibzahufons. The second is that he's married to a lady who is most well known for being the older sister of a mafia dude, the leader of a mafia group. And three, that he's a dick. And so I had to try and kind of merge all of these three things together. Kind of. And the vibe that I ended up going for was basically, he's just a dick. But, you've got... I basically ended up coming up with the idea that part of why he's an asshole is because he was never meant to be Grand Prince. Because he's the third child of a second child. He should not have been Grand Prince. But, genetic diseases occurred to the majority of his family. And so this was fun, because I then went, I wonder if I can concoct a family tree. Yes, I can. And so I made a whole mess. Now, ooh, shit, go away. None of these people are named. So these people here, these are the Grand Princes and Princesses of Ibzahufons. And they have names because I named them back in... I want to say summer camp? I want to say I gave them names in summer camp, but I possibly named them during last year's WorldEmber. It might have been WorldEmber last year. But I gave names to all of the Grand Princes and Princesses of Ibzahoufons after a certain point. And this is actually from later on than that point, but it is like, you know, post-shenanigans. And so I put a bunch of them in, and then the line over here, in which only one person is named, is the royal line of Dötzelel, which is a different kingdom nearby, and as you can tell, the two kingdoms, or the two, well, one's a principality, the two monarchies are very close. They are quite chummy with each other. I think the bit that, because like clearly these two people are very closely related, like very closely related. It's kind of like, it's not, you know, complicated to figure that out, that they're very closely related. They're first cousins, but the most succinct way to put it into the terms that like highlight that they are unusually close is that they actually have all the same grandparents. Like, these 4 people here, they're all their grandparents. And like they're first cousins, so you would assume at least 2 grandparents would be shared, which means you should have 6. You should have 6 grandparents for these 2 people here. They should share 2 in the middle, not these 2, they're actually siblings. But like they should share 2 and then have another 2. But no, they share all 4. Because this lady gave birth to the princess and also the, she gave it to the princess, which is his mom, and also the lady who married the previous king of Dötzelel. And then her brother, I think? Wait, I actually don't know if that's a brother or not. Not really important, we'll say brother. Then her brother gave birth to both that king and the husband of the Grand Princess. So, like, these 2 being married here are also first cousins. And so are these 2. And then there's a couple of aunt-uncle shit happening in here too. The irony was that even though I set out with the intention of making the Ibzahoufons line the really messy one, because the Houfons line already had dates for its people, I couldn't mess with it too much. Like, I could. It didn't really matter. I can do whatever I want, but like, I'd already set in stone some birth dates. So it was mostly ended up being that this line's just kind of fucky-wucky. There's a lot of shit happening in there. Like, this lady's done a lot. I don't totally know what's happening here. They're kids? That's a kid? Yes. So the yellow is the married. Yep, I've already forgotten how to read my own chart. We're doing well. Alright, the green line is chasing back down to Q. Got it. Figured it out eventually. Point is, it's a mess. It's just a little bit of a mess. And they're all like date until X, because I don't care. I'm not keeping track of that. I think I actually might have made a mistake. Ah, shit, I did, because I forgot about her brother. He is... Oh, shit, where is he? He is... down here. Here he is. Here he is. He's in here somewhere. 359. Okay, so I did make a mistake with the age of his dad. His mom, sorry. His mom's age should be different, because otherwise she's what? Way too young, basically. Not the point. The point is, they're very related, and that was a thing that I spent a whole evening doing. Like, I have notes of like different iterations of their family tree, because I hate myself and I love doing that. And so I wrote about him. Hello, Day. Hello. And then yesterday I wrote about Asterfulo, which is cool. I think Asterfulo is neat. Because they're just a cool city-state. And their flag's kind of neat, because it's a canton thing. But they, like, integrated it, you know? That they put it in there the good way. Make it look real nice. I haven't written about their parent state, just because I haven't gotten around to it yet. But they do exist. I haven't actually put their flag on them yet. I should probably, before I forget, because I feel like I will if I don't do it now, I should probably put their flags into that article. Because I have a system in place for this. They are in the full footer. Now I can't put Asterfulos in because Asterfulo is actually not a state. But I can put Doifania's flag in here. That's the only one I think I'm missing. Because the rest of them don't have flags yet. Like, I don't have a Kupiana flag. I'm sort of debating whether Asterfulo should go under the former countries category, because it does technically still exist. It's just not an independent sovereignty. So it should possibly go into this table here. And I honestly might put it in there. I don't know why it's not loading properly. And hello, Kajitan! Hello! Good time zone. Hope you had a lovely day. I'm just going through stuff. Yeah, I made a... There, I have a flag. It's not loading properly. I'm gonna close that. It's because of the map. We don't look at it. We don't look at the map. The map breaks everything. They always do. But that's not what we're working on today. That's not what we're working on. But that's like the stuff that I've done since the thing. And now I'm almost caught up, but only kind of. Only kind of. Because what, how many words have I done? I've done 807.15, and if I do 2500, 21, and then times 11, I was almost caught up yesterday. Almost. I am now 1,000 words behind again, but that's okay. I can get it. And yeah, exactly, the parent state, aka the daddy state. Yes, Stoifaniel is the daddy state, even though it's a confederation, so... Like, it's more like an uncle state. It's more like an uncle state rather than a daddy state. Because you don't, like, daddy is more like federation, you know? That's not, I'm gonna stop thinking about that now. But that's the kind of vibe. They're just kind of chill. That or it's absentee daddy state. It's fine. Your layout for your castle, right? Fun uncle. Fun uncle. Not creepy uncle, fun uncle. I hope. Again, I haven't written about them. Oh, it didn't load. That's why it's breaking. Don't be silly. Boom. So, yeah, daddy state, when to buy cigarettes. I mean, yeah. Kinda. Yee, Kiesel. Yee. Because you're doing naturalistic, which means it's really annoying to navigate. But so, the plan today was a two-parter, because, so technically, the plan was I was going to write about a cool sword. But because I'm trying to catch up, right? Because I'm still just, like, a little bit behind, and I really want to get ahead and start building up ahead so that when, like, Christmas comes, I can, like, just not worry about it. I was supposed to finish the article about what the sword is made from before the stream, and then I just didn't. Because I was stuck mining for diamonds for 2 hours. I say stuck like I didn't want to be there, but that's just what I was doing. So, oops. And so the idea is I want to try and get as much progress as I can on this blood alloy article, so that I can then write about the cool sword. This will not be a long article. This is going to be one of the short articles, because I hate writing materials. I'm really bad at it. That's why the history already has shit tons of notes, and this is just, I don't know, it's a metal, it's pretty, it's pretty strong, it looks red and glittery. Huh. You know, that's the kind of vibe. Well, you designed it around defensible corridors. I assume you meant corridors, yeah? Yeah. Well, yeah, because then, like, you know, it feels big, and then you actually go in, and you're like, okay, so these corridors are decently large. The actual space of the castle is not big. And then you have to try and get into the corridors and all around. Is a whole thing. But it looks cool, and that's what matters. Unlike everything I have built on that server, which does not look cool. Well, okay, the creeper farm looks cool, that's it though. My best build, creeper farm. My only cool builds are the ones that are used by other people. That's the shit. Okay, so I have its name. I gave it a name. So it's the Linemy? It's the Linemy, which just means soul metal, but it's called Blood Ally because it looks like blood. And so it's called Blood Ally for the entire article, but like its name is given. The creeper farm is very cool. It needs walls. I need to work on the walls, but I need marble because I decided that yes, marble. That's what I'm gonna build with. It's like marble and mangrove, and I'm like, okay, I have mangrove. I don't have marble, bro. There's a huge hole under my base because I've just been digging for marble, and everything else under that base. Good lord, my god. Okay, so in its ore form, Blood Eye is predominantly found on the eastern side of the Krenara Mountains. Sunground with Philosopher's Stone. God damn it. No. It's not the Soul Stone, it's just Soul Stone. So it's Soul Metal, even. It's not the. God damn it. I feel like I'm in my D&D game again, going, we're called Scum of the Earth, not the Scum of the Earth, god damn it. God, that game was fun too. It was a silly one-shot, or two-shot technically. Okay, so it's normally found on the eastern side of the Krenara Mountains. I don't know how to write about metal. We've entered the problem. We've entered the issue that I have with this, is that I can't write about metal. What? Okay, so the idea in our actually I'll leave it on the document page, sorry. We had a one-shot which was I think Assault of the Underdark or something. The whole point was that we were adventurers coming through this town, and then their mine, they'd accidentally broken into the Underdark, and so we needed to go in and like deal with that. And the GM asked the group of us for a party name because we're a band of adventurers. We are a known group in the world at the time. And so he asked us, what's your like adventuring party name? And what I offered as a immediate joke was Absolute Credence. That was shut down. Instead, we got called the Scum of the Earth. And the joke became that people kept saying, so you're like the NPCs would keep going, oh, you're the Scum of the Earth. And we would get really offended because you do not put the in front of the name of our group. Because if you say the Scum of the Earth, you're calling us scum. We don't like that. But if you say, oh, you're Scum of the Earth, that's the correct way to word it. That was the joke. It wasn't necessarily very funny, but we had a blast. We're all like 12 mentally. You know, in the tabletop club, we are all 12. Which is why the fact we want to go to drinkies is kind of weird. But like, hey man, it'd be like that. We're all 12. We're all mentally 12 years old. I still wish we'd said Absolute Cretins, because he's like, what's the name? I was like, we're Cretins. Absolute mess. That was a messy, I probably shouldn't have done that. I was a messy two-shot too, because in the first session, we got asked by a priest to deliver a sermon, and holy fucking shit. That did not go well. I mean, it went well at the end, but ooh, didn't go well initially. We were mediocre. Someone tried to incite a race riot, and we were like, oh god. It was a whole thing. My character spent the entire sermon standing in the back, or even just like sitting in the back, head in hands, just being like, oh my god. She was having a crisis. she was not having a good time. It didn't help she was like the only elf in the city, so she's like, no. No. No thanks. It was fine. We were okay eventually, and then the Baron sent us into the mines, and then at the end of the whole thing, we did a, like, 10-minute recap of the future events where we stayed to fight the Underdark, and one of our dudes died, and we were like, oh. It's because he rolled badly. So he died in the war against the Underdark. Rest in peace. I've forgotten his name, but rest in peace. That was the whole campaign. We found it. So, how do I write about metal? How do I write about metal? What does it mean? Oh my god. It doesn't help that Wikipedia is white. I was like, my eyeballs. I don't know anything about metal. I haven't written about metal. Like, ever. I don't think. I'm pretty sure I haven't. This is not the page I want it to be on. I want to be on this page. Well, yeah, use the word alloy a lot, but like, the name of the metal, I might change the name from blood or alloy, because like, it's not an alloy, is the thing. It's not actually an alloy. They just call it that because they don't know what they're talking about. Because, well, I don't, but like, they don't either. Well, okay, so, it's kind of complicated, because I called it Blood Alloy as a placeholder because the sword, the, like, partnering sword article about the ceremonial blade thing, the specific sword that it's about, in the place that it is, they don't know what that metal is. Like, they just don't know. Like it says, like, this metal, this Lanami stuff, or Lanimi, is only found in Abravost. The sword is in Thrasin. They don't know what the hell it is. And so they call it blood I can't say blood alloy. They call it blood alloy because it looks like blood and it's a metal. Is it an alloy? Who knows? They call it blood alloy. I don't know if the people of Abravost would call it that. There's like 6 different names for this bloody thing. I was like, what are you doing? Shit. I make this needlessly complicated for myself. It's a mess. Oh, God. Now I'm gonna have to put the names in it, too. Because it has different names. So maybe it probably shouldn't be called... Well... The issue is this article isn't going to be used very often. Because kind of the whole point of Blood Alloy is that it's not very common. Like, it just does... It's just not there. They just don't have it. That's like the whole point. It's a very rare red metal. That's it. That's its bit. That's its whole thing. Rare red metal. Congratulations. So, you know, like, unique. It's just like mithril shit, you know? It's a nice, strong metal that, like, it's just very rare. This is why I don't write about stuff, because I don't know what I'm talking about. At least with fantasy politics, I can just go wild. How do I write about planar iron? So it's a dark metal, almost black. It's malleable. What if I literally just copy that sentence? I'm not gonna copy it, because that's not Nah. But like, I should just copy it. just take it. Just take my previous writing and run with it. Because this was using the, this is from 2018, isn't it? Yeah, that's an old article. Oh boy. Buddy. Native Americans beating their drums. Yeah, that would be something like that, yeah. This is just the epic station. Just, it makes what it wants. It's the birthday of some saint? Is it? I'm not like connected to any of that, so you could tell me whatever day it was, and I'd be like, okay. I wouldn't know. Like, I barely remember when Christmas is some years. Some years I'm just like, when is it? When is anything? It doesn't help that there's like a bunch of holidays on the 25th of months, and then there's one that's on the 26th, and that one always throws me. It's Australia Day. Australia Day always throws me for a loop, because it's the 26th of January, but everything else is the 25th. So I'm just like, what day is it? And so I can never remember when Australia Day is. So yeah, some saint, neat. I know it's like, what? I want to say day 2 or 3 of Hanukkah, depending on time zones. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah to people. Because I looked that up. Because like, I don't know, like 3 days ago, I was like, when's Hanukkah again? Oh, it's now. Oh, oops. I missed Hanukkah by like a day. And I was like, oopsie daisies. Only found the eastern side. So, okay, so how is this one laid out? Physical camera properties, geography, geology. Maybe I should just take out. No, I don't like using the inbuilt stuff. Because then it's annoying to find everything. It's not that annoying, it's like just down here, but like, It's gingerbread decorating day. I've never decorated gingerbread, actually. I don't think I'd be good at it. History would tell me I'm not good at decorating things. I'm not very precise, so I don't know how well that would go. It wouldn't go well. No, I haven't decorated gingerbread. I do like gingerbread a lot. Though, that said, it took me until I was like, I don't know, 15 to actually eat gingerbread. But, like, gingerbread's good. Gingerbread is very good. But I have never decorated it, because I don't make it. Like, my aunt makes all the gingerbread. for Christmas. She makes all of it. It's just ice. I know it's just icing and shoving lollies on things, but I'm not good at using, like, the piping bags. Just not very good at that. I'm not very coordinated, which is why being an artist is not, it's just kind of confusing. Oh, check your day. Check your day. Check your day. Check your day. What day is it? Festivals of mentionable sorts. Oh no. It has Intel shareware, poinsettia. That's not how I spell that. It's poinsettia. Sorry. Ambrosia. A lot of things happening. Ding-a-ling. Okay. Ah, wild. Days. We love to just make days for random things. What do you think about the idea of incorporating the day's events and moods into your stories? I feel like... I mean, I definitely do to an extent. It would be lying to say that existing in the world, like, you could make art and world building and stories that aren't remotely connected to what's going on around you. And since I'm doing like world building that involves like politics and shit, then yeah, of course, the politics and like events happening around me tend to feed into it. Even if it's just I'm, you know, reacting to a thing and I make something in my world that's a response to that. There's a bot. Piece of shit. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go away. Damn bot. But yeah, so like I think you can absolutely incorporate the things of the day into your stories, and it like so you'll do it even if you're not thinking about it. Sometimes you'll just do it accidentally because you live in the world and the world influences you and you respond to it and do stuff. That said, that said, some people like depending on how recent, if it's an event, if you're inspired by an event, depending on how recent that event is, it is not going to land. So yeah, like people will write a lot of stuff set in the Black Death or, you know, the time of Corona. And that's like the whole thing. Because I remember, in terms of being a moderator in the Discord server, the WorldAnvil Discord server, we had a quarantine channel for everyone to talk about Corona, and we had to tell people to not put plague-related prompts into the other world-building discussion channels because we're like, you know, we don't want to stop you from discussing things, and obviously including plague in your stories makes complete sense if it works for the world you're building, etc. But we were just like, it's way too recent. You can't do that. You know, like, you can't just bring it up and, like, ping people and say, hey, everyone, remember that we're all living in plague? Especially, this was in, like, March and stuff, when it was still very fresh and people were still kind of... when people were the most scared. People are still scared now, obviously, depending on countries, but like, that kind of stuff, right? So, depending on how recent the event is, incorporating either it or your response to it into your stories, it's kind of funky. But if it's like, you know, world building and you'll write a story set in your world in 5 years from now, then fuck it. Go wild. Go ham. I do it all the time. Not like super directly, but I definitely do it. There is inspiration from like historical events and things that are happening. I'm just like, here it is. Just put that in there. Happens all the time. I'm really glad I'm not in like high school doing like English texts anymore, because oh boy, I can imagine. Because I remember in, I think it was either year 11 English Lit or actually year 12, we read a book called Year of Wonders, which was set in the Black Death, in, you know, the big bitch. That's really not the way I wanted to word it. You know, the big bad time. And, you know, the story's okay. It's fine. But that would not have been an easy read now. It was an easy read in, like, 2017, because who gives a shit? You know? So, you know, kind of depends. So you're thinking, splitting Rosewood Kingdom into 6 provinces, each named after colors such as carmine, or carmine. And the queen had 6 regions as she was growing up, 1 from each province. Ooh. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I like that idea of, like, because she needs a region, because, you know, she's a child and such, having it rotate to keep, like, a balance of power and to, like, balance all the competing needs of the country, of the kingdom. That rules. And yeah, exactly, like, the phases of processing for, like, you know, big disasters like 9/11, you know? It's currently a little raw. In 10 years, we'll, ideally, we'll be able to just, you know, include it. I'm assuming the phrase was the big bitch. I was thinking big boy. And then I don't know why it ended up being that B word. It was not intended, but you know, like the big one. The big one. The big plague. Not that there haven't been big plagues before, but like the big year of the big plague. Which is what, 1666? The big year. The big bad year. All I remember from that story is that, like, she banged a priest, and I was like, why? Why do you do this to me? I don't need this. I'm just trying to enjoy a story about, like, perseverance and stuff. No. Not again. They keep doing this. Every single text that you read in high school involves people just being horny, and I hate it. Sorry, I'm having a minute. I have a platform and I must use it to complain about high school literature. I'm procrastinating. Oh god. I mean, not all of them do, but most of them do. Most of them do, and that's annoying. But I guess not every single one, just a lot of them. I'm just like, ugh. Oh well. Then we come to my world building, but that just doesn't happen. It's the no horny zone. I'm trying to write about metals, and I keep forgetting how to do it. I'll have a minute where I'm like, I know how to write it, and I'm like, no. When... How would I say that? I guess just when made into... Yeah, when, I guess, smelted into ingots. I really don't know if I want to call it blood alloy, because it's not an alloy. It shouldn't be called blood alloy. Like, it just shouldn't be called blood alloy. Blood steel? Maybe. Steel is an alloy, but like... blood steel. Maybe. No. Well, okay. Okay, listen, that wasn't... I meant to just look up the word steel. I kind of spaced. I mean, yeah, it has like 20 names, but you know, whatever. As you do. As you do. It's called blood alloy. I cannot say blood alloy. I'm pronouncing it wrong in a different way than I was last night. I kept saying blood alloy. I'm saying blood alloy. So it's blood alloy in one place, it's lanimi in another place, and it's just blood steel everywhere else. And then everything else, but like it doesn't really matter. It's not important. It's fine. Ah, chromium. Neat. Right. I guess steel is still an alloy. And I guess the... Would they have steel? I honestly don't actually know. I don't know if they would have bothered. Because they have iron, but iron doesn't take magic. So, like, would they have bothered going for steel, or would they have just gone for, like, you know, chromium stuff? Because I think at some point back in... I want to say back in summer camp, we, like, collectively in the chat came up with the idea that because iron stops magic, the alternative that's commonly used is chromium. And like, I mean, yeah, you can make steel with iron and chromium, but that again sort of defeats the purpose because you end up with a really strong metal and you can't use magic while wearing it. And it's like, well, what's the point? So like, you know, would they have steel? I don't think they would. It's probably just a bunch of chromium stuff. But I don't know anything about metal, so I'm just not going to bother with it. I guess just call it blood steel. I'll change the name at the end, because then I can just, like, control F it. Just go. Take it. Take it. I'll turn to ingots. Alloys are... red. Slight iridescence. I'm not spelling anything correctly, but that's why I have a spell check sheet for later. It's probably malleable. It's probably... It probably is just malleable and substantial force to shatter or break. Which is good because it's used for swords. Mostly ceremonial swords, but still, swords. Having to reread this article sucks. This is a very old article that I haven't touched in a while. Like, oh no. Oh no. Oops. And that one's very iridescent, because it's basically just like a chunk of starlight sky. Because that shit rules. Get the cool shit. This is just shiny red stuff. There's a lot of red stuff. There's a lot of blood materials in this world for some reason. Go away, printer. God damn it. Why does the printer always pop up? So annoying. Oh no, the suction cap seal stuck on it again. God damn it. There we go. Came off this time. Probably should wash this at some point. Probably should switch to a different bottle at some point. Oh well, because that one's like, I don't even know how old that is. And no, it still has its name on it. It's from the Rimmet Student Union. I didn't even go to Rimmet. It's my sister's water bottle that I just have still. Right. Middle is... It is... very malleable. I don't know how... What does it mean? I don't know. What does malleability mean? Time to learn about metal. Oh god, there's multiple words. To deform under pressure. If malleable, a material may be flattened into thin sheets by hammering or rolling. Malleable materials can be flattened into metal leaf. Okay. So this is the normal stuff. Non-malleable materials will break apart when struck with a hammer, but malleable metals will bend and twist. And then, like, zinc is only malleable at some temperatures and brittle at others. So then I'm gonna say this is similarly malleable to gold and silver, just because, hell yeah, buddy. I'll say highly malleable. On your mat, ceramic arrowheads. Ooh. Yeah. I think those have existed. I think there have been ceramic arrowheads. But I don't remember. Because it sounds fairly, like, straightforward as a thing. Ceramic arrow. Because, you know, shit's sharp, yo. Why wasn't the ceramic... There are things! Oh, man. Huh. Never mind then. Apparently it wasn't a thing. But, like, it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, it makes sense as a thing to have. It's just a matter of, like, deciding to do it and not having better materials available, I guess. Because you have to try and, like, balance the cheapness and the, like, efficiency of it. Because, like, the alternatives to clay are basically, like, on the cheap end, there's wood and stone arrowheads. Very easy to make. But not necessarily very effective. And then on the expensive end, you have, like, actually iron metalheads and stuff, arrowheads and stuff. And then clay falls into that middle group, and I guess... clay is, maybe the idea is that clay was just a little too labor intensive when you can just, you know, smack a stone against another stone for a little bit and you're good. And yeah, stone and flint as well. Maybe that's the idea of like why they didn't happen. But if you have a society where maybe they don't have as much access to metals or flint, maybe the idea was they would go for clay and ceramic instead. I don't know. Maybe that's the idea? I'm not super researched in that, as we can see by what's happening on screen, which is just not writing. I don't know, maybe that makes sense, I don't know. Because I guess, like, with the clay, you have to make it into the stuff, and then it'd probably shatter, too. Like, that's the issue with ceramic, it's very brittle. It tends to shatter under stress. And while that would be good if you can get it in, if you can fire the arrow and get it to hit the other person, it may shatter against them, and that might do like almost like buckshot kind of vibes of just like shattering around them. But it also might not penetrate, or it might shatter en route. Like you might have your arrows in your sling in the back, and it'll just shatter against itself. Maybe that would be the issue. There would be the worry that it would just snap. Whereas stones stones aren't very brittle. I mean, they're brittle, but like they're not fragile brittle, I guess. But like, if you can come up with a good world building reason that people would use ceramic arrowheads because you think they're neat, hell yeah. That's a hell yeah for me. Because I think that's just cool. At the very least, decoratively. I think ceramic arrowheads sound pretty neat. Two tools. What else is there to say about its properties? I worry that's not a whole lot to say about it. In strength 2 iron, it lacks iron's magic. Let's get that bad boy in. We link that magic. It lacks iron's magic nullifying. Can I spell the word nullifying, please? Ooh, in actual case. Okay, let me finish this section, and we will read your article about role-playing lore. Ooh, interesting. Properties. Was more useful for mages and less useful for law enforcement. Actually, I'm saying making it more useful for mages and those who rely on magic for their jobs. What other properties would it have? Like, it's similar in strength to iron, doesn't nullify magic, it just looks real cool. I don't have an article about magical infusion. Magical effects. I think, no, I guess to store magic, to store spells and magical effects for use. I guess effects. The downside for this is that the blood alloy is very rare, and as such it is rarely used in this form. Okay, something like that. I can always edit it later. Like that whole thing. I can just edit this later, you know, in February. Okay, let's read Kajitan's article, which is one of the 2 article showcases. I've said it is 2. It was 3 last stream, but I've decided to do 2, so it's basically like 1 an hour. I figure that's decently fair. I mean, I distract myself enough already. I don't need more distraction from attempting to write, you know? But we can read about... Oh, it's just role-playing, not role-playing war. I forgot that it puts the template at the end. So this is Kajitan's article about role-playing, which is interesting. This is a very interesting thing to write an article about. So what is role-playing? You sit around a table with your friends and you tell a story together. Common understanding of role-playing on Earth. Role-playing can be divided into 2 types. The first is completely non-magical, and is simply playing out a role in a fictional story. The other type is the so-called true role-playing, and it is a form of traveling between worlds. The role-player's consciousness, soul, travels to another world and merges with the soul of a chosen inhabitant of that world. Okay. I feel like the word world is used a bit too frequently in that sentence, like that section there. Because it goes, traveling between worlds, travels to another world, inhabitant of that world. So, I'm not sure how you would fix that, but it just pops out a little bit. The role player has complete control over the person's body and mind, and knows everything that this person knows. Most people just use this for fun, and choose characters who aren't significant on the local political scene. However, there are also people who use true role-playing to manipulate the politics of other worlds. Ooh. True role-playing can be done in every world, and role-players can connect to every world. Magic, or its lack, has no effect on true role-playing, as it uses the innate magical energy from which all worlds of the multiverse are built. Okay. Right. So it doesn't matter if the world that the role-player actually lives in has magic of any kind. Your soul just has the fizz that makes it work. That makes sense. Kind of that funky underlying stuff. Views on true role-playing. So makers stand. As long as people use true role-playing for fun, makers don't intervene. In most cases, the inhabitants of a world don't notice that someone is being controlled from another world. Right, so the makers don't mind as long as you're chill. Please chill. The Acer stand. The Acer have been urging the makers to block true role-playing for ages. They believe that it destabilizes the world. However, the makers don't share their views. Okay. Well, I guess this all makes complete sense to me. The section up top actually explaining what role-playing and true role-playing are. Or is, I guess. Like, what it actually is. This section about the views gets a bit confusing. I can kind of assume what a maker is. I'm assuming it's a type of god, because I know that, like, Aesir is a term for gods in Norse mythology, I think? So, like, since they're being put together, makers and Aesir, I'm assuming they're kind of god-like figures who have a lot of control over stuff. But, so, like, it's like, not knowing what a maker is makes the section about the maker's stance on true role-playing a little confusing. Having that extra context of what a maker is would make that section make more sense, I think. The Acer section, it's very short, which is totally fine. That their stance is very simple. Don't do true role-playing, you're destabilizing the world, don't do it. This section where they say that, however, the makers don't share their views, it's kind of redundant because we already know what the makers think about true role-playing. It's directly above it, so I don't think that that sentence is necessary. If that makes sense? I hope any of that's helpful. I'm not great at critique. I was like, spewing ideas forth and going, here you go. I try. So I hope that's, like, helpful Because it seems interesting that there's that whole thing where you can basically, like, almost Freaky Friday into somebody, I guess. I haven't seen Freaky Friday. That's just the adjective. The verb. Even. That's the verb. You just do the thing. You just, whoop, I'm in their brain. I make them do the thing. It's interesting. I do like it though. It's very interesting. Right there. Hit the lights. Ah, you added a tooltip. Yes! Excellent. Yay! Okay, so they're the creators of worlds from the Forge of Worlds. Awesome. So now I know what a maker is, and that means that I can kind of understand. Gonna bounce. Alright, see you, Makaro! Bye-bye. Let's check, since I wasn't the first, I didn't invent ceramic arrowheads. Aww. Damn. It's difficult to invent stuff in the modern day. You got inspiration for this article just about an hour ago. Nice! Hell yeah. It's really great when it just goes and you just... The article is made. It's very good when that happens. I think it's neat. I like the concept. And I like that you also include, like, the normal type of role-playing as well. Like, hey, this exists, but here's the fancy stuff. So I like it. It's very neat. Now I just close it and immediately, science. Oh god. My entire face just lights up and it's like, ah, science. Oh, thank god for the simple English Wikipedia. Okay, I now know what ductility is. Got it. Ballin'. Right, because that snaps. Okay. I totally understand. Yes. It lacks iron's magic and alchemy properties, making it more useful for mages and those who rely on magic for their jobs. It is very susceptible to magic infusion, allowing it to store spells and magical effects. The downside, I guess, of this is that blood alloy is very rare, and as such is rarely used. Well, maybe that's not necessarily relevant. I mean, it is a part of it, but I don't know if that's like a relevant statement. Why do I have to keep picking up the cards? Leave them on the table. Leave them where they are. That's my closed window note. Here we go. Here's the bit. For spells and magical effects. Well, I didn't want to write about their use too much, so I feel like maybe I should just cut that bit out and put the use in the sidebar. I think that was the original plan. So we'll put it there, I think. Along with the sword stuff. The swords are cool. There's a... Oop, here we go. God, there's a crack in my screen right where the text is. That's annoying. There's a chemist working on wood pulp. Maybe there's the inspiration there for you. I don't know. Ooh, wood pulp. I don't know if wood pulp's useful for a metal, I guess. I think the main issue is that I'm not very science-minded. Anyone who knew me in high school will attest that I dropped out of physics. And it was the only... Today, physics is the only class that I've ever dropped out of. Because if I didn't, I could have failed. Like, I legitimately nearly failed physics. Mostly because I didn't care, but also because I wasn't good at it. So science is hard, and part of the issue of writing about, like, metal is that it involves science. But once I get into the history part, this will be fine, I think. Because, like, whenever... Most of my articles are history and talking about, like, the context of an item and how it's used. That's more my jam. Writing about the item or, like, the material itself is not interesting. Writing about how it's used is interesting. I guess is the kind of the bit where my world building tends to go. It's the kind of vibe, I think. I don't know. World building is hard. World building is not easy, which is very annoying. So, okay. Oop. That's my Twitter announcement. Okay, I put that out there. Here we go. So, Lanimi. Ah! What the hell? Help! Why are there two of them? That was weird. Ooh. I've had a lot of weird things happen in this editor recently. I don't like it. I don't like it when it does weird things like that. Because it's spaced out for a second. Oh, Lanimi is not native to Amara. Rather, it is native to the elven world of Tiunoka. Specifically, the region controlled by the, and I have their name somewhere. It's in, okay, hold on. City Islands article. City Islands article. They are the Nosetelnimi by the fine tip. Stop it. I wonder if most world builders are good at history. I don't remember my grades in history. I don't think they were great. Like, I favor history, and history is very interesting. I wasn't good at it in high school, though, I think. And I guess part of that is that it depends on what history you're talking about. Because, like, history as a discipline, possibly a lot of world builders would be decent at history, but a lot of them focus on specific time periods. The issue with high school history is they usually talk about, like, the Cold War. And so if you do not give a shit about the Cold War, you're fresh out of luck, buddy. Like, what? We did, and we did Afghanistan, which technically isn't Cold War. Well, it's complicated. But, like, we did Afghanistan, and we did, I think, Russian Revolution. The, like, 1918 one. And, like, I think I was better at the Russian one than I was at the modern one. Because it was just more interesting to me. And then, like, in year 12, right, I'm like, okay, I would like to do history in year 12. Why not? But at least in Victoria, or at least in the school system part that I was in, there were two options for year 12 history. There was revolutions, which I don't know which revolutions they were, but I'm assuming probably maybe French, maybe Russian, maybe something else, I don't know. And then the other option was Australian history, and they alternated which year was which. So, like, 2017 is Australian history, and 2018 is revolutions, and the year that I wanted to do it, it was Australian history. And I was like, no. I'm not doing a year 12 unit on Australian history, because I've already read a bunch of books about Australian history, like books meant for kids, but still books. There's nothing interesting there, in terms of post 1788, I mean. And of course, because it's, you know, settler history, you're not gonna learn a whole lot about pre-First Fleet stuff. And so I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. It's boring. American, French, and Russian. Nice. Yes, that seems interesting. But they didn't have revolutions the year that I wanted to do it. And it was distance ed too, which means you have to, like, do it yourself. Basically, you have to do it like we all do schooling now, which is online. And I was like, no thanks. I don't want to do that. Did not want to do that time. Now I do, but that's just because I'm, like, I don't leave the house. I didn't want to do distance ed in year 12, so I didn't. And so I just didn't do history in year 12. That's probably a good thing, because my memory was not great. That year, it probably would not have retained a whole lot of dates. If they'd asked me questions about the American Revolution, I would have been like, I don't remember dates, please help. Depression brain just went whoosh. The dates just disappeared off into the void. And they're just gone. So, you know, whatever. It's a shame, but, you know, it happens. Maybe we didn't do Russian Revolution then, if I did it in year 11. I honestly do not remember what we learned in year 11. I only remember that we watched the film Osama, which is not a good film. Or maybe I just didn't get it. But it was not a enjoyable watch, which I guess is kind of the point, given what the film is about. But I was just like, okay. Neat. I'm kind of bored. It's an important film, I guess, but I was like, can we get back to doing anything else, please? My favorite part of the day we watched film is that, like, I think, like, the next week we had basically an off period and some dudes were watching, like, Jason X or something. Which I'm just like, alright. They're watching Jason X. I'm sitting in the back with the lads talking about, like, probably Fallout or something. No, like, that's the vibe of year 11 history. We did not give a shit. The 3 between different years. Right, okay. Because I never did French. I did not learn about the French Revolution in high school. I did learn about the French Revolution in primary school, purely because my school taught French. Like, the language at my primary school was French, and so we learnt about France. Because of course we did. And then we would do Bastille Day performances at the local high school, which also taught French. And then when I went to high school, I picked a different high school for Japanese. So, we just put the Bastille off to the side, like, don't worry about it. And Raiders! Welcome, Raiders! Stay true! I hope you had a productive stream! Full of many sprints and writing and talking about world building. Because we've been talking about history instead. Because I'm bad at writing, so we're talking about history now. Which is always fun. And how I was not good at history in high school. Bonjour, comment t'appelles-tu? Ça va bien. Et toi? Is that the phrase? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm pretty sure it's ça va bien. Et toi? And you? I'm good, you? I don't remember anything from high school with primary school French, sorry. I have a French award. That's the worst part. I got the French award at my primary school. I made it to like a top rank in French in my state. And then I'm just like, no. And so I do not remember French. It was French poetry, so it was just recitation, but you know, like I was apparently good at reciting French. So, oops. Oops. Yeah, je suis bien, merci. Yay! My accent's very bad, I apologize for my bad French. You built a swamp. Nice. And good morning, Bob! Good morning! Let us open the article showcase. This is the second for the night, so actually, what I will do very quickly, very, very quickly, is I will scroll back up. And for the benefit of Raiders, we read this article by Kajitan just before. Not long before you guys arrived, so I guess, well, again, how long is not long? About 10-20 minutes. So I'm just letting you know that we did that. But we are now reading Siobhan's article, which is about Redcap. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oof. Immediate oof. I appreciate the warning, though. I appreciate it. It's like, oh, thank God. Okay. Alright. This is the Redcap. So, why is it everyone thinks they are better than we are? They know nothing. It is time to show them we are not going to stand for it. I mean, elves are so hoity-toity. Dryads and druids are just a perversion of nature, allowing one gender to act like another. Don't they know there's a reason they were given the bodies they were? They should just act like normal people. Dwarves never even bother to give us the time of day, too busy working. As for the others, well, who cares about them? Ugh. I do not like saying the words. That is a redcap chieftain to a warband. The redcaps are a dark fae ethnicity. They have very violent tendencies and just about everything. So a fae that tends towards violence and evil. Yeah, seems pretty. Yeah, that's evident to me. Yeah, one of us into politicians. Oh no. Oh no, we're channeling something. I don't like it. Okay, so the culture and cultural heritage. Redcaps fight for dominancy within the clan. Anyone wishing to move up in status must challenge to do so. This means fights with fists and shillelagh. When the fight is concluded, the redcap will dip his hat in the blood of the loser. Ooh, that's why they're redcaps. I mean, maybe that's not, but hey, that's why it's redcap. Shared customary codes and values. What most would consider to be the height of rudeness, to the redcap is considered simple, common courtesy. The act of hurling insults at one another is how they show respect. Redcaps, unlike other fae, do not clasp arms or shake hands. They greet each other with violence, such as a punch to the snoot. The snoot. The snoot. The word snoot is too cute for this. Okay, that is literally why they're called redcaps. Hell yeah. Redcaps have a very specific definition of what is right and wrong. This definition very rarely coincides with fact. Or coincides, yeah. I say coincides. Coincides with fact. For redcaps, killing another is not something to be punished, but celebrated. Ooh. Yeah, just toast. We rage. They consider any deviation from ascribed gender roles to be something that must be rectified. This includes same-sex relations or transgender individuals, as they believe that it is an affront to nature. Ew. They believe the only way to rectify the deviation is to either beat it out of the individual or kill them. This is the only time they will refuse to eat of the deceased, for fear that it may be contagious. They believe the flesh of those who live outside the defined gender roles to be spoiled or contaminated. Interesting. Interesting. That's a very, like, I hesitate to say the word nice, but, like, it's an interesting cultural element that they're like, yeah, cool, we eat the deceased, no big deal, but we do not eat we do not eat people that we do not like that we like see as deviant, because no, like, that's an interesting element to include. That said, I feel like these two sentences are basically saying the same thing, so possibly, like, combining them might work. I don't know. They do basically say very much the same thing. Common etiquette rules. For redcap, it is considered an affront if punching them or him or her in the face is not the first thing you do upon meeting him or her. My immediate gut is to go them, but they don't do that, so I'm not allowed to do that. This means before even greeting him or her, you need to show a sign of force and dominance. No more showcases. I can add one in, because I changed it from 3 to 2, but I can change it back to 3. I can make it 3 again if you want. Most first thing to do is to connect squarely with the bridge of the nose, causing the blackening of both eyes simultaneously. A punch to the jaw is considered rude, as there is no real damage inflicted. However, if the blow is powerful enough to knock out teeth, the redcap will consider it a respectful greeting. Oof. Common dress code. Redcaps have a very gruesome dress code. The adults wear leather clothing with bits of flesh still dangling, with a blood red cap, which will sometimes look more brown in the color of dried blood. Okay. The young will wear similar outfits, except their caps are stark white until they come of age. Interesting. When female redcaps give birth, the males are forcibly kept outside of the birthing chamber until after the young are born. At this point, he is allowed to enter and dip his hat in the blood of the mother according to the number of children born alive. It says live, but it needs to be alive, I assume. Oh no, I guess born live still works. I immediately said alive though. I guess there's no difference. After their initial After, oh god. After initial meal of the placenta, the young redcap's nurse. Okay. It's one of those phrases that does not, that didn't scan, but it does make complete sense once I, like, doubled back and realized nurse was a verb, not a noun. This is the one and only time they're allowed to do so because of the sharpness of their gums. Right, okay. When they get too old, they just end up, like, biting too much. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Sorry, the face just peeked up from the corner. I was like, oh, no. Oh, jeez. Okay. Coming of age rights. Coming of age for a redcap is a long and painful ordeal. Go away, fly. Stop it. Get out of here. God damn it. A redcap's not considered to have come of age until his or her white cap is completely red. In order for the cat to become red, the redcap needs to dip it in the blood of a defeated opponent. Redcaps are forbidden to redden their caps with their own blood. This means they cannot wipe the blood from themselves with their own caps, and so must bear the shame of losing a fight. Another reaction to the pick. Oh no. A redcap fails to redden his or her cap in any way by the time he or she turns 150 is cast out of the clan. He or she has 1 year to completely redden his or her cap if he or she wishes to return to the clan. Because of the redcap's hypersensitive sense of smell, any redcap returning from exile must turn over his or her cap to the clan chief for inspection. This ensures that the blood is not from a single source, nor is it her own blood. Okay. Got it. I posted a look on the WorldAnvil Reddit yesterday. Lots of upvotes, not very many added likes. Damn, yeah. That's a shame. I haven't shared, I don't think I've ever posted on the WorldEmber Reddit. Like, I've posted in the comments to help people who were having trouble. I don't remember ever posting an article. And I guess it's kind of a shame that it doesn't really translate to likes sometimes. When that's kind of like, that's the point, isn't it? If you like the article, oh god damn it. The face appears. You know, if you like the article, can you hit the like button in the article? No. They refuse. Ah, here we go. Redcaps not mourn the life of those who have passed. Instead, they will feast upon the deceased. This means that unless there are too many dead, that is, unless there are too many dead, where the largest becomes the meal. Okay. Redcaps feel that there is no point in wasting good meat, and the fresher the better. Common taboos. For redcaps, the reddening of one's cap must be done with the blood of others, as reddening his or her own cap with his or her own blood is forbidden. I'm going to try again, but add text line that sort of suggests that. Yeah, fair enough. But that makes sense. Worth a shot. Ideals. For redcaps, the idea of beauty is measured in the number of battle scars. They consider a flattened nose to be a sign of power. The flatter the nose, the better. Blackened eyes and torn ears excite most redcaps. Gender ideals. For the redcaps, there are very defined gender roles. Female redcaps are expected to tend to the home and raise the children, while the males do the hunting and ruling of the clan. A redcap is not happy unless their mate is willing to beat them into submission on occasion just for the simple fact of a disagreement. Whoo, boy! Males are expected to be able to keep multiple females for breeding. The females will define a hierarchy within their own group, which can change from day to day. Goddamn. Upvotes are always appreciated, but it's likes that really count. Yeah! Hell yeah! The redcaps have a very violent idea about courtship. Females are not willing to mate with any male who is incapable of taking her by force. Though, if she is interested in a male, she will initiate and try to force herself upon him. Courtship amongst redcaps is a very combative ordeal. Thus, if there are multiple males vying for the attention of a single female, they will fight until there is only one left standing. This does not always mean killing one another, but rather beating the rival to the point of the inability to rise or continue fighting. These contests have resulted in death on occasion. Of course they have. Of course they have. For the Redcaps, the only way to maintain a relationship is both members must be capable of meeting their partner toe-to-toe in combat. This can become rather difficult when the male has a home to maintain. Right, okay. Is the reason that it's more difficult with a harem is because he has to fight all of them? So, like, the idea would be that if he has to, like, you know, he fights wife 1 on a given day, but then wife 2 comes up and she wants to also fight to prove that they're still toe-to-toe, and now he's tired. Is that the kind of idea? Because that makes sense. I just want to make sure that I got the correct impression. Okay. Awesome. Right. Whew. Scroll off past that. Scroll up past it. Average height. Redcaps average between 4'4" and 5 feet, with very little differentiation between the genders. Average weight. Though they seem to be smaller than dwarves, they are built for combat. Redcaps weigh anywhere from 150 pounds to 250 pounds, and it is solid muscle. Ooh. Very lean, then. Yay. Redcaps have an unusually sharp sense of smell. They find sense of joy, trepidation, and confidence offensive. They gain a sense of euphoria from the sense of fear, caution, and anger. Scent of any strong emotion will cause the desire to fight. Redcaps can distinguish the different types of blood just by scent. This means they can tell from where or whom the blood originated. Okay. Alright. Pretty neat. Genetics and reproduction. Although they can mate with any of the sapient races of Corrigenda, they prefer to engage in mating rituals with their own kind. Redcaps are prolific breeders. The females rarely have a single child at any given time. They birth their young alive, and there is, on average, 8 to 10 young per litter. On the rare occasion where it is a single live birth, the remaining stillborn show signs of having been beaten to death within the womb. Oh boy. Hot damn. This garners the young redcap the right to have his cap bloodied from the blood of childbirth. The number of siblings who died in the womb dictates the number of times their cap is dipped in the blood. Damn. Redcaps are defined by their flattened noses, missing teeth, and black eyes. The more colorful the black eye, as in the multiple degrees of healing shades, the tougher the redcap is considered. This is about the only place where males and females are equal. They have large, frightening eyes and wide mouths. They sure do. They sure do. Redcaps will eat just about everything. Even those with no teeth left in their mouths are capable of eating just about anything, due to the fact they have very strong and sharp gums. In fact, the gums of a redcap resemble small, very sharp files. They have no problem eating the flesh of anything that was once living, including other redcaps. Newborn redcaps are fed the placenta as their first meal. And then there's Joker lady. Go on ham. Goddamn. That is a hell of an article. That was an important bit up top. Ooh, that was a lot. It was very good. I mean, well, you know. It is good. I don't like them. I do not like them. I do not like the redcap. But it is a good article. And it definitely gives you a sense of just how violent, obviously, they are. And like, you know, like their whole thing is violence. Why are they so violent? Who knows? It just be like that. You gotta fight, you know? And so it was very interesting. I hate them though. They're interesting, I hate them. That's just how it works. Like, that's just how it works. Oh god, and every time I scroll past, I lose my mind a little bit. It is very good. Oh boy. wildly pivot to metal is cool, right? Oh, jeez. Buddhist Rucus. Hell yeah. It's like, I like the article. I hate the people. I hate them. I hate them. Ah, jeez. Where was I even? It's been. Oh, God. 15 minutes later, I returned to the Blood Ally article and don't know what I'm doing. I want to picture how frightening they are. Yeah, oh, it works for that, I tell you. It really works for that. And just like, bleh, bleh, just appears. Terrifying. The Limini is not native to Tiumara, native to the Elven world of Tiunoha, specifically the region controlled by the Nosetl Miami, or Miami. Actually, I would say a prominent. Did I put Calico Celt? I already linked Calico Celti, so Calico Celti Kingdom. I forgot to put that. Rather, the name to the Elven world to be the region of something something. Prominent. Calico Celti Kingdom. Collision. Recognizes that kingdom and the world it's part of. It came through during the devastating collision of the two worlds. Alta Miami was mostly scattered around eastern Abravost. It was there that most of the metal appeared. Well, we can close this, which we should do that now. There we go. Okay. I have 70 words. That's one of the short articles. Thank God. A rare resource. That alloy came very scarce following a collision with most of the metal being in the form of weapons and tools. Some larger deposits have been found in the Krenar Mountains, especially around, shall say, Koshoid. But by far the largest deposits are found on the distant City Islands. I just realized you have 2 articles in the top 10 for ethnicity articles. Oh god. I was in the top 10 of items for like 2 days and I just went, I was like, if I shared my articles more I might get somewhere, but I was like, I keep forgetting to. I'm just like, I posted on Twitter and I'm like, I've made an article. Yay. despite this, meaning abundance of the resource there, it is for the capital T, territorial government forbids any kind of mining or extraction, effectively halving the amount of the metal available in TUMR. Some blood alloy ingots. Well, I guess blood alloys, but like blood alloy ingots. I'm gonna change the name from blood alloy to something else, but ingots did come from Noha during the time that portals were active, which connected the two worlds. But it was far more common for artifacts made with that metal to go back to Noha. As such, when the portals all broke during SEP, which is the first time like the SEP this entire month, SEP, more blood alloy was lost. That's basically it. That's basically the history of the stuff. That pissed me off. Rawr, rawr. I need to chop a whole bunch more wood. I don't wanna. God, that's a mood. Ugh. I need to chop more wood. I need to mine more marble. God damn it! The suction thing got stuck again. Fucking hell. Come on. There we go. Don't close it, maybe. Just don't close it. You need more materials and you never have them. You just don't have it. I really need to write an article about Noha. Like, I just need to do it. I'm gonna... What would I call that, though? Well, I mean, not what I would call it. What template is a world? Is it a geography template, you reckon? Yeah, no, I reckon you can't. It's an 18+ wall. Yeah, I think I first saw you like talking about it at some point. Yeah, that makes complete sense, and like I'm chill with it because even though my stream is not locked behind 18+, like a mature stream, it's definitely not like a as clean of a stream certainly as Greg tends to run. Even then, that article was intense. See, you are limited somewhat in the shareability, but you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Not every article can be shared everywhere. Ah, yeah, you did talk, yes, everyone was talking in 7 tones while I was asleep. Which always happens. Every single time. Every single time that 7 tones pops off, it's when I'm fast asleep. It drives me mad. Every single time. It's always been true. Ever since I joined, back in like January of 2019, it's always active when I'm asleep. Goddamn Americans. And young Europeans, but mostly Americans. I'm kidding, but I'm also kind of not. Just create minions, easy. Ah, jeez. I think this is a geography. So this is Northern Homeworld. I definitely don't have a Noha article, do I? Hold on. I don't, right? Hold on. I do not. Okay, good. I want to make sure. Wait, actually, wait, hold on. Wait. I do! Oh! I do have an article for it. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. I do have an article for Tia Noha, actually. But I need to rename it. I knew I'd made something. I haven't written it, but I do have an article for it. So I am going to link that. And then I'm going to Elvin. Oh god. Well, a Fayula, my dudes. Oh no, that's an old article. Oof. That's real old, buddy. Hot damn. This is Tia Noha. I'm just gonna leave it how it is. Tia Noha, my dudes. This can't go anywhere. I don't have a place for this to go. I guess this would go in, like, the core bit temp. I'll figure it out. Oop. But I'll give Tia Noha and also Tia Nightly? How did I call it? I gave it a name, right? The reason I did name it, I don't remember what I called it. I think I specifically was going to change it at some point. Once I actually made their language. Diela. Right, Tiu Diela. Tiu meaning world here, apparently. But I haven't made the merfolk language, so I can't commit to Diela yet. Because the merfolk fucking do some shit, and I don't know what their deal is. Which is why I haven't written about them yet. Which is why they've been mentioned like 3 times. Hold on. When have I mentioned them? I have mentioned them here? When did I mention them here? Okay, they're mentioned there. Very offhandedly. That's a really offhand reference to the merfolk. Oh, glad they're mentioned there as well. Yeah. And then they're in the Gila Fleet one. They're in the Dragon article? Probably about Abravost still. Right? When isn't it about Abravost? God damn it. Yeah. Yeah, well, they're mentioned just here in general. They're in the Rainbow Plague article because they're useful. They're in this article because they saved their life. They're in this article because of... Where the hell are they in this article? What? They're not in this article. Oh, it appears to have not loaded completely. It says merfolk. But it picked up hammers. And then they're in here. They're not in many articles is the thing. I need to write about them eventually. Eventually, I will write about them. But not yet, because I don't want to do conlanging. I don't want to make another conlang, so I haven't bothered yet. Okay, so we got 500 words, wow. That's more than I thought. And then in the sidebar... Did I not put the names? I should rename it now before I get too far ahead of myself. I don't want to call it Blood Alloy, because I can't pronounce it for some reason. Bloodsteel, maybe? No, I didn't like Bloodsteel. How do you name fantasy shit? How do you name fantasy shit? I don't know. That's why they're all just gibberish names. But I can't call it gibberish name because it has a common name. For people to actually say. Anyways, the name of people who can conlang? I do too! Cause, oh boy. my conlangs are barely conlangs. They're basically just naming things. Because I can't grammar for shit. Like, I don't understand English grammar, and I'm a native English speaker. So the idea that I could actually write a grammatical sentence in a conlang is kind of absurd. That said, learning other languages is very, very helpful. Because at minimum, I know how Scottish does grammar sometimes. And then I can compare that to English and be like, oh, that's how you differentiate the something from the something. I don't know what the tenses are. I don't know what they're called. But I know what they mean. And I'm like, oh, okay. I can't pronounce them either, but I know what they mean. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, what? What's the sentence that they keep using in the test? It's like, Bidiad Akluche, I guess it's golf. Golf. Ahula Latha? Which just means they play golf every day. And I'm like, oh, so it's like I guess it's not they will play, or they played, or they are playing, it's they play. I think that's like something a perfective tense. And I'm like, oh shit. And the way you do that is just put the bid. Otherwise it's like hayad, and that would be like they are, I think that's they are playing. The they being it, but like the R is the. It's kind of funky, you know. You think most people don't know the grammar of the native language. You learn naturally as you grow up. Exactly, right? Like I don't know nothing about no grammar, but learning other languages is quite helpful for at least getting the concept, even if you don't know the words that describe the concept. And so basically, what I need to do is just read about Scottish grammar and compare it to what Duolingo has taught me and how I speak English and go, oh, okay. And you just kind of like, eventually I would figure out grammar. The issue is that I don't think I can put grammar into any of the conlangs that I've built for TU Amara so far, because that's something you should do early. You're supposed to make grammar first, vocabulary second. And these conlangs are all vocab, baby. They are all vocab. So it's a bit late for me. But there is that possibility with the Merfolk language, which is why I haven't done it yet. Because I want to actually, like, try a little bit with the Merfolk grammar a bit. Conlanging is pretty rough, though. It is not easy. But I'm a colossal nerd, so I did a unit in uni of phonology. Like, I got taught phonology. I learned about phonetics. The best part was walking into that classroom and they're like, so, you know, what degrees are you all in? And everyone's like, I'm a teaching major. And I'm like, I'm a Bachelor of Arts. Like I'm an arts student. I'm like a visual arts student. Visual arts and design. My bachelor was in visual arts and design. And it's like, what are you doing here? It's because I thought it would be fun. And they're like, oh, okay. And then I was like the best kid in the class anyways. I'm like, hell yeah, buddy. That's the shit. Because they're all there to teach like English second language. And phonology is very useful for English second language because it means you can describe the sounds that are used for words. And it helps if you know English phonology and the phonology of the first language in question. And you can try to figure it out. So they're all there for that, and I'm there just because I think phonology is cool. So that's the kind of nerd that I am. No real effect if you did it, have to do 12. Exactly. You just base your cultures off real life cultures and give them names of that culture. God, that's a mood. That's fair as hell. I'm doing that loosely with Utrecht because I gave up. In Utrecht, there are there are at minimum 4 clumps of people, and at least in terms of naming, one of them is named with Scottish, one's named with Irish, one is named with Welsh, and one is named with Breton. I picked Breton because I couldn't think of the Celtic language, which is Breton's the really annoying one because I have to use a different dictionary website to get words to mangle. But that's the whole vibe. But with Tiumara, I have conlangs that are a mess. But it's fine. He's fine. Yeah, a conlang for each of the races. Ugh. I mean, how many do I have? I have... So there's Vostan, which is the only one that isn't actually conlanged. Vostan is just gibberish. So there's Vostan, there's Zhangsayoy, which is Abravosti Elven, which technically has 2 variants, but they're the same thing, so it doesn't matter. Then there's Garanya, which also has 2 variants, but they're the same, doesn't matter. There's Nikishon, which is, okay, so like, Zhangsayoy is loosely Korean, but it's basically not Korean. Garanya was inspired by Dirbal, which is an Australian indigenous language. Nikishon was inspired by a Austronesian language? I don't remember. Weizsärischer is Germanic. It's just German. It's just funky German. Zwikalu was loosely Arabic, but really busted. Then there's Suent, which is more Native American inspired. I can't remember which one. Iroquois like the Haudenosaunee ones. And then there's Sherzanak, which I don't remember what the plan was there. I honestly don't know what was going on with that. They're the Elven languages. They're messy. And they just exist. They do shit. Some of which have mechanical limits on phonology. What sounds can you make with a beak instead of lips? Yeah. They would use whistles, clicks, probably no Yeah. Probably no Be a lot of they have dental sounds, but not like th. Oh, well, maybe have th. Th, t. Maybe not th. I don't know. It's hard. Fantasy stuff is difficult. Which is why I haven't touched the merfolk one, because that's where shit gets funky. Because then I have to explain why the merfolk speak a language that can be approximated by humans. I'm like, yep, yes. No V. Yeah, no F and no F and V. They're the same sound, don't worry. They're not the same, but they are the same class of sounds. So no F, V. Probably no P, B. You got T, D. You got K, G. Probably have S, Z. Because you still have teeth and like a tongue. But you just can't make, like, lip noises. And that's the rabbit hole. Exactly. It's fun. But it's also like a whole month of your life is spent doing that. And no one really wants that. That's why we don't do it. And that's why I keep putting off doing the merfolk language, because I don't want to have to deal with it. Yes. I see research streams. Ah, yes. So you were in Siobhan's stream. Gotcha. Oh, well, hello, Natalia. You've been out for a while. But I mean, dog buyer break, got a doggo buyer break. I guess Bloodsteel. I'm gonna just call it Bloodsteel. But like one word, Bloodsteel. That's what we're gonna call it. It's Bloodsteel. Because it just makes my life easier. It's fine. Bloodsteel. I guess Google the word alloy. Where does alloy show up? Oop. God damn it. The hell? Stop it. Bloodsteel and more bloodsteel was lost. That's all the words of bloodsteel. Yeehaw. I know I'll go there someday. I know me. But not this day. I will go there eventually, but not today. Dog by a break into a phone shop for a bookcase. Oh, right. A phone case for your new phone. Got it. So a big round. Makes complete sense. It happens, you know? Names. So first alternative name. Shit. View. Go to view. Go to view. Economy. I didn't capture the L. Economy. Blood alloy. Blood iron. Just call it a bunch of blood stuff. It's fine. Maybe instead of blood iron, we call it soul steel. No, doggo is asleep. Yay! Sleepy doggo. Good doggo, sleepy doggo. Dogs are cute. I'm terrified of them half the time, but dogs are cute. There's a lady who lives, like, not super far away from me, who has 2 huge dogs. And every time I see them, I'm just like, that dog is bigger than me. And that's not hard. I'm not exactly huge. But, like, that dog is bigger than me, and if that dog jumped on me, that's it. Like, I'm just done. That's it. That's the end. It's over. Big dog jumps on me, that's it. I'm done. That's all. It's done. You know? Always worried about big dogs. Dogs too big. Rodeo blades. I like how I intended to write this article like this afternoon, didn't, and I was like, I'll write about the swords, and then I haven't written about the swords yet. Irish wolfhound. No. No. Not Irish wolfhounds. Definitely not Irish wolfhounds. I think we've discussed this. I'm pretty sure they're not Irish wolfhounds. Cause it's not like, no, they're just big, very fluffy. I would, you know, like, what are they called? Not Pomeranians. The really fluffy, like, big ones. The big, like, the big fluffy white ones. But not those ones. But kind of. I don't know what breed her dogs are. They're just huge. One of them might be a retriever. They're big dogs. Maybe I'm thinking of a lab. I'm probably thinking of a lab. Well, I guess the same thing, but like, you know, big doggy. Big doggy. Big old doggos. I think one of them's a retriever, but huge. Or just a big with big... Malamute might be Malamute. Yeah, I think kind of. That's the kind of scale we're working at, is a Malamute. They're big dogs, though. Not St. Bernards. No, more Malamute-y and like lab stuff. They're big. They're big dogs. And one of them is very energetic. I think it's the more lab-like one, which is like the black one, is a bit older and is a bit calmer. The white one is younger and hype as shit. I think Samoyed was the one. Yeah, Samoyed. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I think it might be a Samo. Big dog, big doggy, and they're very cute. But if I ever see her walking her dog, I have to cross the road, because if those dogs jump on me, I'm done. That's just me gone. There's no coming back from that. Like, some dogs, if they jump on you, like when you're my size, just like 5'3" and very like skinny, if it jumps, like you can kind of chill, but nah, these boys big, and I'm just like, nah, dude, that dog's as long as I am. Elk hound, maybe. No, not elk hound. It's probably a mix, who knows, you know? Akita? No. No. I'm still thinking more like Samoyeds and stuff. Samoyeds labs and stuff. Just big doggies. And they're very, very cute. But you can't interact with it if you're not already, like, introduced to the dog. Like, if you are just a stranger walking by on the street, you are not safe. Especially if you are small. That's just it. You're dead. You're gone. The dog doesn't mean any harm, but it will hurt you. Just by the course of existing. And so if I see her, we don't walk on the same side of the road. We very rarely do. I'll always make the, like, just cross the road. An Irish setter. No? We're just listing dog breeds, and I think it was mostly, like, Lab and Samoyed, maybe. I'd have to try and get a picture, and that would be awkward, because I don't like taking pictures of people. And it's difficult to get a picture of her dogs without taking a picture of her. But maybe at some point. I'll see. I haven't seen her in a bit, so I don't know. They're big doggies. They're cute. Dogs are cute. I'm just scared of big dogs. They're too big. I still remember, like, being 6 and getting just bowled over by a very excited dog. And that's it. That's the... It's, I don't know, it's like 2005. I'm 6. I'm at a park that I know exactly which park it is, too. I'm at the park, chilling out. We're going for a walk with my parents. And big dog. And that is the day I became scared of dogs. That's just it. That's the day. The day it happens. The dog that bowled me over was not a Samoyed, but, you know, just a dog. Because I'm like 6, right? I'm like 4 foot. Just boop. Takes ya. Your sword. Kayoko. Ceremonial. Sword. I'm just making a link to that now. Letters are big and very slippery. They would drown you with love. Really? Aww. They're all cute. They're all good dogs. Dogs are good. I'm just a coward. I did used to have a dog, though. I had a dog when I was very young. Because it was my mom's dog. And it was like 14. When I was like 2. And it was a blue heeler border collie, I believe. Very good dog. Wagsy was a good dog. Big dog, but very, very gentle. Because, you know, it's like a 14-year-old dog. Wagsy wasn't gonna hurt nobody at 14. You know? Old dog does not cause harm. Most common found artifacts and items made with blood steel are ceremonial blades, dating in where is it? Recession, Miami. These ceremonial swords. These blades are made by and for nobility and royalty as a sign of their wealth and power. These swords are very ornately crafted and often adorned with other precious metals and gemstones, as well as being infused with magic. Woo! Anyway, later on. See you, Bob! Have a good day! We're about to head off too, because it's a sad day. And now, so, originally on Saturdays, well, technically it's Sunday, but like, it's Saturday stream. Normally, or previously, I would do the Minecraft stream, but I'm shifting that to Sundays, proper Sundays. So I have 3 streams a week now, which means that it's no longer gamer time. But this does mean that I can technically go for a little bit longer if I want to try and finish this, which I think I do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finish this Bloodsteel article, and then I will call it there. And I'm almost done, because I just want to finish, like, this little bit here about swords. Which is it's a link to the next article, which is about the cool sword. The coolest sword. Of course, my screen has night moded, so I can't see chat anymore. There we go. My phone turned on night mode, and I'm like, I can't see. It's magic. The most famous of these swords is and I'm just gonna link it. The so-called, well, I mean, the issue is it has a name, but the people who have it don't know what its name is. This is the issue. People who now own the sword do not know what it's called. They do not know its purpose, they just have a sword. I'm thinking maybe what we'll do. Ceremonial sword here. Most famous sword of this type. Formerly, it is one that belonged to a king of Miami. Who gifted it to one of his bodyguards after being saved, after said guard saved his life. This sword remained in the guard's family for generations and was the finest ever crafted. Unfortunately, it was lost during the collision. I misspelled the word collision. It's okay. We're cool. Do I have a image for guards? Do I have a shield at all? Did I spell the word shield correctly? I don't have a shield. I have like one sword. I have one sword twice, which is the best part. But now I have the image, which is good. And so then that's basically it. It's not a super long article, but it doesn't need to be, because the actual swords article will be longer. What I am gonna do is I'm going to chuck it in a spell checker, because unfortunately the Euclid editor on WorldAnvil does not have a spell check, because it can't, for reasons. I misspelled the word. Maybe it is. Oh, it is. Okay. Maybe it is the god, the blood of the god instead. I misspelled. Well, no, it's ore form. How do I spell iridescence? It's a C. I missed one C. That was actually pretty good. Iridescence. That's the name of the place. It's proper noun. That's it. Okay, so that's it's all good. It's all G. It appears to have gone fine. I apparently only made 2 typos. I find that hard to believe. 20. I don't know where to put this one. So I don't know where we'll put it. We'll put it somewhere. But I will publish it. I will not push it though, because it's not the best one I've ever written. I don't push all my articles. But while I'm here, before we head off to raid Writer Greg, who I believe should still be up. Oh god. Let me in. I will pop this into the 2020 article that I have. Which, so I know there's like already a progression, like, page, the progress page. I just like having my own page. 9344. We're getting close. We're actually almost back up to being caught up with where I want to be. Because that meant we were only 300 words down from the 12th, and we're still only 1,000 words behind. Which means that if I do everything good tomorrow, I should actually be able to catch up and finish 10k, which is good. Which is nice. But yeah, so I know there's already like the progress page that lists all your bits. Oh, I didn't give it an excerpt. I didn't give Bloodsteel an excerpt. Let's give that an excerpt. The rare red metal found in Kalkoseti lands. Very simple. Doesn't need to be complicated, does it? It can be a very simple excerpt. And so now it has its little bit. It gives me like 2 extra words, or like 6. Boom. Even better. I love how it counts words. It also means that I need to get to like 27k actually. Because of all the BB code. So that basically works, right? Like, I like this page. It's very neat. But I like having my own, because then I can also, like, you know, put commentary if I want to. I don't want to, but like I can, which is neat. Normally I have a write-up, but I haven't bothered yet because I can't be bothered. I'll publish it after WorldEmber ends, I think. But yeah, so now that it is 7 past 1, which is 7 minutes later than usual, what we shall do is we shall raid Writer Greg, because it's a Saturday, and that means it's raiding Greg time, because Greg does a 3-hour stream. So, that's not how to spell the word raid, it is get ready. Raid call is get ready. I have bread emote, which can be claimist using the channel points, which I still haven't given a toast emoji. I'm sorry, I'm a failure. I will give them toast. I will make them the proper toast image. But you can claim a toast emote using the channel points, and then you can yell get ready as we storm into Greg's chat and we watch him write. So thank you all for coming. Hope you all had a lovely day and that you continue to have a lovely day, whatever it is you plan to do with it, whether that's world building, playing Minecraft, etc. And I will see you all around. And if you come to the Minecraft stream tomorrow, that's pretty chill, but honestly you don't have to because it's Sunday gaming stream and it's very chill. So yeah, I will see you all around. Thank you for coming. Goodbye.